Hello, and welcome to Merger, a staffing model. There are hundreds of mergers annually. However, it's been reported that the failure rate is somewhere between 70 to 90%. With that high of a percentage, every effort towards success must be taken, beginning with staff. Today's presentation focuses on a combination of staffing models used to develop a staffing plan to reinforce a successful merger between Dentrix and Henry Schein, particularly in their impact on the dental industry. Henry Schein and Dentrix merged in 1997, 27 years ago. Healthcare is the common denominator of the two companies. However, they specialize in different areas of the industry. Henry Schein centers its contribution to the company around product and service value. In 1932, during the Great Depression, Henry Schein and his wife Esther opened a pharmacy in Queens, New York. They were committed to a value-based culture and to serving customers, supplier partners, investors, society, and Team Schein. Since its origin, the company has evolved into a leader in delivering health care solutions worldwide. It has continued to reinvent itself to meet customer needs throughout new technologies and tapping into new markets. Dentrix Dental Systems was founded in 1985. In 1989, they became the first practice management system of Windows. In its infancy, there were 3,500 users of the software. Today, over 35,000 dental practices rely on its software. Dentrix is dedicated to innovation of practice management software. Aggressive research and development funding has allowed Dentrix to stay out front in technical services. Consensus in the industry is clear. The future of dental devices is digital, and the rate of use is expected to continue to rise, especially after experiencing lockdowns during the COVID-19 pandemic. Though merged, these two companies have an independent feel, but don't be fooled. Their mission is singular: innovative and integrated products and services for healthcare, while creating trusted advisors and consultant leadership to enhance customer profitability and quality of patient care. To continue moving the Henry Schein Dentrix merger forward, 3 staffing models are being incorporated to maximize staffing selection designed for company growth, employee development, retention, and productivity. We will begin with a look at the iceberg model of competency. The basic goal of a competence model is to match activities of competence to leadership. Visible competencies entail knowledge or information that a person has in a specific content area, and skill, which is more technique specific in performing tasks. Visible competencies are easier to develop through training. Hidden competencies are less obvious and require additional time and effort-intensive activities to develop. These competencies are largely motive-directed traits that create elevated performance. The ability of staff to function as a team is a key component of a social role of leadership within a company. The 3Shape Company website cited a study that said, when looking for skills for future dental professionals, the ability to work in a team will be a major factor. How a person defines their strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations can provide important information in planning for future staffing needs. Needs-based models require considering the distribution of the workload among workers. In other words, staffing ratio. When defining the scope, one must ask the questions: what is it that you're wanting to accomplish? Or, is where you're headed realistic in purpose and expectation? Analysis of service asks, is there sufficient need to justify staffing requirements? Accurate adaptation, can the data be transferred into applicable staffing requirements? Examining the budget involves financial, staff time, and training resources. Sensitivity analysis draws on projections regarding future workforce situations where highly sensitive reactions are based on multiple variables. Validation of the model. Can the model be supported statistically or through field experts proving assumptions or findings related to the data? Or invested groups participating in decision making throughout the process or at critical checkpoints? Leadership competency models include specific elements essential for effective leadership. These elements also provide a source for valuable training and development tools. They are also proven to be strongly associated with stakeholder satisfaction. This model might benefit from using a servant leadership theory, which depicts leaders' primary role as that of a servant to whom they lead, shifting opposite of self-performance and organizational health. Overseeing the group or team allows the servant leader to focus on the growth as a whole. Interactive behaviors build community of diverse professional relationships. Being proactive shows initiative to problem solve, to readily participate, and to comfortably provide guidance and direction. Being cooperative and generous entails the ability to share leadership and status. Authenticity means that one possesses a genuine representation of self in an honest and transparent manner. Once all the data has been collected and the models have been validated, a plan can be developed. The plan created to allow the merger between these two companies to continue to thrive is as follows. Begins with a needs assessment. This needs assessment is twofold. First, to identify gaps in the organization's expectations, managerial support, knowledge and skills of its employees, to identify demand of the industry requiring new staffing. Operational leadership assessments can be used to determine operational and measurable set of servant leadership practices. Providing a sensitivity analysis to determine variables affecting workforce situations. Develop training specific to job position that addresses identified gaps. Self-assessments designed with minimal bias and minimal possible methods of distortion. Interviews and reference verification to provide insight into less visible skills. Validation of the model, either statistically or through field experts or invested groups. Establish a budget of existing and projected resources. A succession plan to be developed to respond to planned and unplanned shifts in the workforce. And finally, a tracking method to ensure that the plan is functional long-term, or to identify when appropriate modifications are needed. Just because a merger has been successful over 20 years does not make it immune to failure. Maintaining a workforce that's proficient, growing in knowledge and skill, while continuing to provide excellent professional service is still needed. There is a body of literature that supports the use of staffing models in planning an organization's workforce. As the 21st century labor force changes, applicant and employee selection processes will need to meet new standards as well. Models need to fit the strategic plan for the organization. Companies are as diverse as their workforce, so meeting the needs of both may require more than one model approach. The 3 models chosen for this plan were based on the past and present core foundations of the company's mission. Whatever model is chosen, care must be given in selection to limit bias, to get an accurate representation of knowledge and skill required for job completion, and to meet personal goals. Dual models can allow planning for the best of both worlds, performance and servant leadership. I provided a list of references for your convenience. Thank you for your attention.